Yo, what's up, everybody? We decided to start an hour earlier than the original scheduled time, but we're actually a half hour before our normal scheduled time.
So we're on time.
Yeah, so we're on time. Yeah. So, how y'all doing this week?
Good.
Good. We had a pretty fun episode of Skeleton Crew.
What was the name of the episode?
You know, it's some line that's spoken by Kim, the owl person, later on in the movie, but I totally forgot.
It's an astrogation
here it is.
problem.
Very interesting as an astrogation. Yeah, that's a weird ass word.
Astrogation.
Yeah, weird word. Very weird word. Yeah. Have you guys ever heard that word before? I have not.
Yes.
I'm not surprised that YoJimbo has heard it. But it was not a word that I was familiar with.
He pushes his glasses. You see, in season 4 of Star Trek Voyager, they built a new astrogation lab.
Let's see. Episode 3, directed by David Lowery, written by Christopher Ford and John Watts.
Right. So David Lowery also directed episode 2. And John Watts, he's the showrunner. So
yeah, they started off strong, and I felt like it was a strong episode. I actually enjoyed it more the second time, which is a great sign for this show. Like all the little details, all the little words that I missed the first. I can't believe how much stuff I missed the first time.
There is so much. There's
a lot. There's a lot, especially in that first scene with the parents. There was a lot of like dialogue. You're like, whoa, what?
The first scene, the shortest cold opening that the series has had so far.
Before we get deep into it, Star Wars news.
Right.
I think we mentioned this last week, but I just wanted to mention it again. Star Wars Visions Volume 3 next year. 2025.
Right. Have they given a date, or they just said 2025?
It says 2025 as all I can see.
Okay, but is this schedule made of Teflon like all the other schedules?
9 shorts by 9 different studios.
By Teflon, you mean
where everything they write just slips right off of it.
Yeah. A non-stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
We have schedules.
Right. Well, I think Andor will come out next year on schedule, but I don't know. I don't know about anything else.
I think DanMalore might be frozen again.
No, he's moving.
No, he moved.
Oh, you were just reading. Sorry.
Yeah,
he was just
I'm helping out with graphics here.
Yeah.
I like how it started out with the suburbia thing again. They're kind of leaning heavy into that.
Oh, we have our one more piece of Star Wars news that's local to Southern California Star Wars news, but Disneyland Season of the Force has been announced. It's going to be going on from March 28th until May 11th, and the Star Wars After Dark Nights have been announced, happening April 8th, 10th, 22nd, 24th, 29th. May 1st, we actually get May the 4th for Star Wars Night, and May 6th is the last one. Tickets are not on sale yet. TBD.
Okay. Right. Cool. Wait, May 4th is actually one of the days?
May 4th is one of the days.
Oh, okay.
I feel like last year there wasn't.
No,
maybe I'm wrong.
I feel like May 4th was like on a Sunday or something.
Okay.
So it was like everybody went on the 2nd because that was the closest to the 4th.
Right. Yep. Because that's when we went, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't make as much sense as May the 4th be with you, though.
Right. May the 2nd be what? But yeah, so this is what you were talking about, right, Dan? Suburbs.
Yes.
Thanks to Cap'n, we have this. It looks like down the street from where I used to live in Oregon.
And it looks like a neighborhood in, I don't know, in Northern California or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what like the area around Beaverton looks like in Oregon. Like if you go cruising around in the suburbs where it's, it's not too dense, it's, big trees, lots of green, blue sky. Yeah. Lots of track housing.
They showed this too. This is like one of the opening shots.
Right. Yeah. So isn't that like
the city
like
center
city hall kind of deal? That's not the school, is it?
I can't remember from the first episode, but maybe that's where the parents are to hear their grievances or try to find out information about their
kids. You're saying that might be where the supervisor is?
Yes, if there is.
If the supervisor is actually an entity, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not just a machine,
yeah.
Or, I mean, that could be full of a giant machine.
That's where they keep the database.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we got.
And you can shrink the screenshots. While you're talking, we can talk about this first scene.
Sure. I just pushed the wrong button.
You start off with the parents, very concerned parents, obviously, that their kids have like disappeared. The shot of Wim's dad was pretty cool.
Right.
His glasses get me every time. I'm looking to see if I have a
more and more glasses.
Some people are really concerned about this because we've seen a couple glasses in Star Wars now, and people are like, there's not supposed to be any real world stuff there, but maybe because they've been there so long, they don't have like advanced tech like for eyes that they can spare anyway.
So the first glasses that we got was Dr. Pershing in the Mandalorian.
Yes, there's been goggles. There's been plenty of goggles.
Yeah, lots of goggles,
visors,
but no corrective lenses.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, precisely.
Maybe he's just doing it for fashion.
I wouldn't discount that.
Or if there's some kind of tech built into them that we're not seeing from the exterior.
Maybe
it could happen. I mean, we have we have those companies here that make those devices. But yeah, so we get the families when they're airing their grievances, though. Like they show the opening shot shows that security robot like walking down the street, and I think this is implied to be inside one of the family's homes, probably Fern's home, since her mom is the one with like rank,
the big house.
She's the undersecretary.
Yeah.
Also, when you had that picture of the cul-de-sac, there was one house that was a little tiny bit bigger.
True. It was kind of weird that they're all like neighbors or something. Are they all neighbors? I mean,
in the same neighborhood.
Yeah. I mean, how big? What is the population of this planet? Is it like,
I don't
know,
big.
the San Fernando Valley? Like that's everything, or is it like even smaller? Like
it's like I'm getting the impression they are just a small skeleton crew on this planet for a giant vault of money.
You just wanted to say skeleton crew.
No, I think like later on when they talk about their parents, like they just count money. I think it's just like a giant vault.
Yeah,
they just do accounting,
or they figure out like what this credit's worth against that credit, and because it's all like, isn't there a line later in the thing they talk about the fungibility of currencies? So
I might have missed that one. You can share the screen again, by the way.
Okay. So what do we got here?
Just the parent. You can see the glasses the guy had. I thought I had a photo of him, but you can't read it. But they're saying is the supervisor going to contact the Republic for help? And the robot's like, no. It's like, no, that's outside. That's an outside problem now.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna ask for help. They're not even technically supposed to be a thing. That's better with you guys like that. Wait, sorry. It almost looks like these guys are walking back behind you guys, but I can't get a. It's not evenly lit.
Oh yeah, we got the same.
We do.
Yeah.
Same background. I can change.
I like that.
But yeah, I mean, even the Undersecretary Farah seems like
helpless,
exasperated. Yeah, she's like, I can't.
I thought she would have some pull.
Yeah, I thought she'd be able to be like, I need to pull my, whatever credentials she has to get actual help.
Well, that makes what your guys' theory of, does the secretary actually exist? Is there like a government in place, or are they just, under the illusion, and they're just like kind of robots doing their analytics jobs and their admin jobs?
Yeah, like the healthcare providers in this. Yeah, they look at the numbers and go, "Oh no, denied."
Nope.
Yep.
No, denied. Because I mean, it can claim that they're asking for outside help, but it got denied. No one would know the difference.
Yeah.
Go ahead and share this one. This is interesting from the conversation at the beginning. And it says, it's KB's parents. What worries me is that we lost her life signal. Her life signal, which is a throwback to the Ewok Adventures, Caravan of Courage and Battle for Endor, because everybody in the family had the bracelet with the life monitors on it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Right, because that's how Sindel knows that her family's.
And we also get another look at that mural.
Yeah, the mural in the background. Like, what's up with that? Those are all Old Republic like figureheads.
Yeah,
maybe
the found like the. No, I think it's the like supposed to be the original founders of Atten.
Mm-hmm. Could be, and maybe they were
because it's like one of each like race, I guess, that's on the planet. It's got the Ithorian, and we can't really. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to tell what each of the beings are that aren't actually facing towards the screen.
Also, is that the same logo?
Also, those two people on the couch there, that is KB's parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's got two moms, but they don't refer to it. At least they look like moms. But yeah.
And they also mentioned another thing about her. I don't have the
oh yeah, she's got
urgent medical needs.
Urgent medical needs, yes.
I'm fairly certain that KB is an augment. She's been augmented. She has implants, kind of like Lobot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's got the headpiece.
It's not an uncommon thing in Star Wars to be augmented, but she can run like massive calculations. She's a human computer.
Exactly. So they're all in the house, they're all panicking, but so we get Fern's mom reveals that she was rebellious and snuck out, but the safety droids always brought her and her friends back home by the end of the night. So apparently Fern's behavior is hereditary. And then we get the security droid finally comes through the door with no children and tells them, "Oh, your kids are on a starship that has illegally exited the barrier, and because it's exited the barrier, there's nothing we can do about it."
Yeah, they're SOL.
Also, and it starts listing off the violations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you think that means that there's no way for them to leave, or they just refuse because they're trying to keep their...
They're trying to keep their secrecy.
Their secrecy.
Yep.
This entire planet.
Yeah, that's a priority.
Because, the entire thing exists as in its isolation.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
that's
all the parents,
seem to set that up, but
all
there's
the
nothing
all
they
the
can do for them.
Yeah, all the parents are kind of like we got, they're all kind of throwing a fit, and then except for Wim's dad just kind of subtly just sits down on the couch by himself, all kind of bummed out, probably because he's lost his wife and now he's lost his son too.
Do you think he's going to do anything about it? Like, or is he just going to take it for a fact?
I feel like he's going to I think he's figuring out something to do about it. Is like, that's where he's at. He realizes that there's nothing that the government will do for him, because they probably also didn't do anything for him with whatever happened to Wim's mom.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she's
something
like a lot of people are assuming, I mean, I just said it a couple seconds ago that she's passed away or something. Maybe she's just off planet and there's no way to contact her. She's just like somehow gone. Exactly. Yeah. And there's nothing that this government is willing to do, alleged government is willing to do to help her out.
I also thought metaphorically, like, it works on two levels when he takes his glasses off. It shows like that he's just very weary of what's happening, but also it's like, I think it's like, I'm setting aside my little bit of luxury, being able to see. It's like, well, time to go out into the world, that like he has like no idea what's out there either.
Right.
Yeah. Gotta be.
Yeah. So I'm thinking he's figuring out, like, how do we get off of this and go save our kids?
Yeah, it's gotta be. So yeah.
I also felt, part of it, I think, too, is that he's never around. So I think he's sitting with himself about,
That's a good point.
Yeah,
he feels guilty.
Doesn't spend enough time with.
Yeah, and that may have, if he did spend more time with Wim, maybe Wim wouldn't be so keen on going out and finding himself in a situation like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Just something I thought about during that scene.
Yeah, no, it definitely works. But then that's it. We get the title screen, and we don't see the parents for any more for the rest of the episode. So I kind of like that. Are they going to keep the parents just in the in the openings, and then no more having to deal with that?
I think they're going to get back to the planet before the end of the series, like maybe an episode or two before. There's going to be a showdown on the planet. Like, hey, pirates are on their way. We got to get ready. Something like that.
There is. I mean, I have seen some screenshot. There was some in that music video that they put out last week, the sing along video for the Major Tom song in Huttese with altered lyrics.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's some YouTube channels have actually went ahead and like translated all that Huttese into English, but I haven't got around to looking into that quite yet.
It's gonna be funny though when Atten has to put out like the actual like SOS call to the Republic, and it's like we're getting a signal, but it's old Republic codes,
right? But, okay, so
like
you say that
it's a 2,000-year-old code,
right? I think that's another thing I kind of wanted to mention. There seems to be a lot of confusion about what Old Republic different characters are referring to.
Yeah,
because
they are not referring.
I think it's old.
Yes, I think they were referring to the old Republic. Like,
it's not even High Republic era.
I think
way before that.
Not even like the Republic that fell to the Galactic Empire.
At this point, though, the High Republic technically is the older. It's an older Republic.
Yes, the Republic that just fell.
It's not KOTOR. It's
but the Republic that just fell is the Old Republic. There's a new Republic being built.
Right. There's the New Republic preceded by the Galactic Empire, preceded by the Galactic Republic.
Yes.
Preceded by the High Republic, preceded by the Old Republic.
Yeah, you're getting very specific.
But that's how like people are that's how people are looking at this. Whereas the Old Republic, the High Republic, and the Galactic Republic are actually one entity.
They're all one Old Republic.
One
it was just a
consistent
long
entity.
line.
It's not really separate things.
I mean, we'll get around to it because they start talking
Roman
about
Empire.
the jewels of the Republic and all these things later in the episode.
Yeah.
So we don't want to get bogged down that just yet in that part.
Gotta love those squeaky toys. Yeah.
I really thought it didn't squeak. I couldn't squeeze it hard enough to squeak it. And then of course, as soon as the stream started, she was like, "Ring, ring."
That's of course,
good.
Yeah. So after the opening credits with the little, you know, the usual helmet montage or robot heads or whatever they're doing for whatever project it is, we get back to what's the pirate planet asteroid thing called again?
Porgo.
What?
Porgo?
Porgo, yeah, something like that.
Port Porgo. And
we get the camera shows like the docks and the force shield that's keeping the oxygen that's there in, and then it pans down in the cell block level. The brig has a different colored force shield area. So someone was speculating it's because they could just turn that one off if they need to. In case there's an uprising down there, they could just suffocate them all.
It already looked like they're breathing sewer
simple
gas
yet
down
effective.
Yeah, sewer gas. And then
the first question was, well, you can see it in the screenshot I just shared there.
Hold on one sec.
It answered the question everybody had from the previous episode.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
The reasoning behind the wide jawed is in a cell instead of already escaped.
Yeah. But of course KB asked the question. I don't know if it was Fern or KB.
I would assume it's KB. He's looking directly at her in that screenshot there.
It's a very logical question. It's like, if you could do that, you're getting us out right now, why are you still here?
Exactly. So, I mean,
I guess he could have overpowered a pirate ship, but it would have been a lot of dudes to.
Well, I mean, he's one guy who can do force pull and force push. There's a few people like in a few seconds. They end up going down the hallway, and he does something. Some of the other YouTube channels were saying that he uses Jedi mind trick to make the guys.
Yes, he does the
but
throw.
he moves something in the distance is what he does. It's the same trick that Obi-Wan Kenobi does when he's escaping, turning off the tractor beam in the very first Star Wars movie.
I always thought that was just they're able to make a sound, like make them hear a sound.
Yeah, he does something to make a sound off in the distance. It's like a voice throw kind of thing. You know,
I don't know if there's necessarily like he's throwing a tool off camera.
It's never determined what exactly is happening, but it's the same hand gesture and a similar sound. Yeah. And it's what was that? I don't know.
When we were watching this the first time, I was just getting like such a scammy vibe though. I was like, oh, he's just using these kids. I even turned
well, there was the whole you are a Jedi, right? And of course. Sure. Who's not gonna believe that smooth talking rogue?
Here we go.
What do you got?
Got it. That's it's just that moment.
This is
distant rattling.
Distant rattling. Exactly. He made something move, and that's something. You know, it's it's one of those things that I've been like talking with my Star Wars friends about my whole life. What exactly did Obi-Wan do? He made something move. It's easy. There's levers and doors. Like he could have just made a door in the distance close.
No, it's true.
You
I
know?
always thought it would be more like of a powered, like you could just make a audio hallucination. It's like a mind trick, but
yeah,
maybe they
make
can
them
do
think
both.
they heard something. It's probably easier than that. If like you're saying, just like go rattle a can, go knock a tool over, go push a mouse droid over.
Go trigger an actual mouse trap. They got it. You would assume that they would have one of those or a few of those in the little prison deal here. There's got to be some prisoner that wants to eat them.
See, they start off, if you go back to the shot just shared, like they're the whole time they're like questioning him. Like there's no treasure on our planet.
Right. Oops. There we go. Yeah.
But yeah, this was the one where we finally got to see like what's going on though. More personality from like
I think Fern is the one that delivers this line, but
what? There's no treasure? Is it?
She's
Was
like,
it? I don't
hey,
know.
before we get out of here, there's no treasure on our planet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's her. Her and KB are the ones I really don't trust him.
Yeah.
Wim thinks he's a Jedi, so he's like, yeah, we can trust him. He's great.
Wim, I don't think it's Wim. He just wants him to be a Jedi so bad.
Yeah. And Neil just says whatever Wim does. That's his way. So just like I'll just go whatever everyone else wants to do.
He kneels to his whim. Oh god, that naming is terrible. Who named these characters?
It is kind of funny. They're inside jokes or something,
right? So they finally meet. They exchange. Oh, we finally know each other's names now.
Yes,
and then but before that little Jedi mind trick thing. Well, I guess it was right after. He's like, oh wait, don't go that way yet. You know. So I just left that up. Are you changing pictures?
So it was But him proving like, see, I'm a Jedi.
This is him when he's calling KB across he throws the
right.
on it.
Right, because he makes them look away. And then he pulls her over.
And then KB detects the droid coming before he does.
Right. Because there's and then they're like, see, KB has the Force too.
Yeah, Fern says KB must be a Jedi too.
Yeah, because she's just poking holes in his story. But KB has implants. She's half cyborg.
I think she senses a droid easier than he does, though.
Oh, probably. Here we go. This is the one.
Oh, you got another one.
Yeah, you don't have to stop.
It's just it's.
I know to keep it up.
That's the thing, though, is that everybody has the Force.
Yep,
that's another inside joke for Star Wars right now.
But he says it at some point during the episode, right? The Force runs through.
Well, he says it right. He says it right after that.
He's kind of trying to say like, I'm not necessarily a Jedi, but I don't want to tell you right now.
Right.
But there's conjecture in the Star Wars community because of The Last Jedi. What happens in that movie that everyone's capable of having the Force.
Right. There's the whole question of like what happens when Force sensitive people are popping up in the universe when there's no structure for them to become like trained or disciplined.
Right. I mean, they got to come from somewhere. The Jedi, they go out and get the kids from somewhere.
And they're going to keep on popping up regardless of whether there's a Jedi Order or not.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I feel like there's all these people are out there saying, "Hey, Jod is a Order 66 survivor. Oh, he was a Padawan."
Not necessarily.
No,
it's like no, he's someone who has the Force, like innate Force abilities. He's got the high midichlorian count, and he's figured out how to do push and pull.
Yeah. The simplest connection to the Force.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm open to him being
the very first
Jedi. That's fine.
Thing that we see,
not necessarily.
For sure, that Luke uses the Force is in Empire Strikes Back is pulling his lightsaber to himself.
Yeah.
Like that's how low on the totem pole Force power push and pull is.
Well,
I It's get away or come to me.
Right.
Like that's basic human desires and needs is give me that, get it away from me,
Imposing your will. A little bit of imposing your will. That's all it is like using your will to like finesse the Force.
Right. He's not like doing force leap. He's not stopping blaster bolts like Kylo Ren. He's just doing the things basic things that he probably had to do, to get out of a jam a million times because of the life that he's been thrown into, the cards he's been dealt, however you want to look at it. But it does give him the whole I think they've said it. They were trying to go for like the whole, what if Han Solo had force powers kind of vibe.
Right.
And they kept him with the shooting first.
You mean besides Han Solo's like ultra instinct that he already has?
Wait, what?
Like Han Solo's like instincts. That is his actual
he's like blatant. He's a fast talker. He's like, this is
don't tell him the odds because they're like it's not gonna help. It's irrelevant.
He's gonna do and say what he's gonna do and say, and that's it. And sometimes he does the opposite of what he says. Who knows? But yeah, so we get
give you a cheeky little shrug.
Yeah, so we get the kids are reluctantly to follow him. He leads the kids out. He tells the kids that there's a way with nobody and a way with a whole bunch of people. And I think Fern's like, let's go the way with nobody. And he's like, no, we got to go the way with more people because it's easier to blend into a crowd than to sneak down a hallway.
Just as long as they don't all hide under his cloak.
What? It worked great in Kenobi.
You just stack up two of them on top of each other, and then you just have three people you're hiding.
Now, see, in Kenobi, it would have worked if Obi-Wan was actually on the shoulders of the person hiding under his cloak. Then he would have just looked really tall with little tiny feet.
No free rides, kid.
I thought when they walked out into the like common area, whatever that is, that they would be somewhat disguised somehow, TV magic or whatever, cloaks. And when they walked out just the way they were, I was like,
cloaks or some big hats or something.
They're very bright in comparison to the rest of the people, and they're also children. So
I even said they're just going to let them go. But what's his name? Crimson Jack starts a fight. Yeah, like I don't know how he starts a fight, but
Jod does put his hood back on.
Yeah,
Jack, whatever you want to call him.
He's famous there. Like they're definitely gonna want him. But he somehow manipulates a fight between some people.
I don't think he did. I don't think that's him. I think that fight is
just happened. Fight. They just got lucky.
Yeah, normal pirate stuff.
And then Neil turns around to watch the fight, and he comes back for him, and like, there's good comedy. Like that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's believable comedy. It's comedy that's like, if a kid who's never seen pirates fist fight sees a pirate fist fight, they're gonna stop and watch. That's
especially Neil. I feel like Neil would be the one.
He's ultra curious.
Yeah,
it's already his second pirate brawl too. He's like getting experience.
He's like, this is crazy. This is all right. But
I thought they were gonna have some trouble getting back to the ship, but they managed to get to their little guy, their little teak guy.
Which actually makes like the thing work better later. Like them having like a completely uneventful trip to the ship sets up like the Smee rescue.
Yeah, making him go back.
Yeah. Like that was so easy, and it was too easy. So of course he had to go back for Smee.
Well, not only the whole it was too easy. That's all like almost all the dialogue is throwbacks to
that's a direct line from the original
escaping
Star
the
Wars.
Death Star. Yeah, it's like
because Princess Leia says that was too easy.
Like, that was too easy. They let us go easy. You call that easy? Sorry. The dialogue from that movie is kind of just permanently etched into my brain. You know, and that she's like, they're going to track us, and we'll see what, you know, happens here, because, you know, they do.
I like his little when he's programming getting ready to leave, and they're convincing him to go. One of the switches on the dashboard breaks off, and he just looks at it and he just throws it over his shoulder.
Yeah,
right. I wonder if that was like ad-libbed, or if that was actually
broken.
Yeah, like the prop broke in his hand, and he just
go with it,
because the rest of the take was good. Just go with it.
But they're like, I mean, you got to save our friend. You are a Jedi, right? He's like,
plus it also plus when he saw the ship, there was also his little bit. His little bit of panic.
There's like
not that one.
It had a cloud of debris just kind of oozing off it, like Pigpen from Charlie Brown. Yeah.
Yes.
It's still covered in dirt.
For real.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it.
It was. They should have called. It's not the Onyx Cinder. It's Pigpen's family mobile home. Like,
yeah, there is like a dirt cloud around it.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's like you could see it. Like,
there you go. Yeah, I'll pull it up here.
It's got its own funky
you got
atmosphere.
Let's see.
You can't see the motion of it, but there is literally
there's like stink lines coming off of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, look at that. That's gnarly.
It looks like a sandrail that's had its wheels knocked off.
Kind of, yeah.
That's the first thing I thought when I saw it on the show. I was like, "That's weird."
But it is tethered to that buoy looking thing, which we find out that's a fuel line and a fueling system. So I have no idea who it's going to switch to when I turn off that screenshot.
It's
I think we all have had a turn.
Yeah,
so
it's random every single time.
Mm-hmm. As someone who's
note to self, don't pick your nose.
Yeah.
Dan
played a lot of Star Citizen though. The Onyx Cinder is that right kind of ugly that's beautiful. Like it's very industrial design. It's kind of like these exposed giant engines. And stink lines.
It's old. It's implied that it's like an ancient ship because it's been on that planet forever. But I like when they finally convince him to go back, because he's like, "You are a Jedi. You're just gonna go save him." He's like, "Oh God." He's
Jedi
like, what's his SM-75? They're like 33. You know, they're like
right.
He's like 33.
No, he said. I think he said SM-37.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But yeah,
he gets the name wrong. It's a classic. It's
also Wim like trying to convince him though. It's like a Jedi never leaves a man behind.
Yeah, he's like, they don't.
That's not a thing the Jedi say.
Yeah, that's not a thing they say.
It's not. Yeah,
it's hilarious.
It's not a thing Jedis say. Yeah, and they do more of like they get him to admit to not being a Jedi and all that. That was pretty cool. So now we all know.
I mean, but he did say at some point during this episode, "I never said I was a Jedi."
Right.
Yeah, near the end.
Yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember exactly when it happened.
When they're renegotiating the deal.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They don't let him on the ramp of the ship.
Yeah.
At the end.
Right. When they get to when they have
and honestly, he could have just flicked all those kids off the ramp and taken the ship, but Smee is waiting at the top with the torch. So like that's adds a little more complication. He can't just waltz over them.
So Smee, remember how we said that he looks like he's part destroyer droid, but we're not sure like of that. He could be an even older droid because like
he looks
were saying
ancient.
about like there's every possibility that thing has been there a long time.
What was that? What was that droid? The droid in KOTOR, was that HK-47 or 37?
Yeah. HK-47.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if he starts calling these guys meat bags.
And starts every sentence with like what the sentence is, like yeah. No, we do get some Smee exposition once he is rescued
and brought back to the ship.
Oh, he's one of the best characters. Him and Neil are just like golden. I mean, everybody's doing a great job, but like Smee, especially in this episode, is just he's hilarious.
Smee knows a pirate when he meets a pirate.
Yes. He's like, Jedi. He's not buying the story.
Okay.
If he is a Jedi, I don't trust him. If he's not a Jedi, I don't trust. Like, Smee knows what's up. He's not not dumb. He got fooled by the captain programming thing, but everything else he's not buying. Like, this guy doesn't trust him as far as he can throw them.
Right. So
goes back.
Yeah. So as soon as Jack's back in like the common area, he hears the pirates are all yelling about Captain Silva has escaped. You know, so has anybody seen him and all that kind of stuff? And Jod sneaks into the area that they keep found droids in, and there's a handful of droids in there.
Just it's pure comedy golds.
It's crazy how many like droids they have that are just like one moment away from breaking.
Yes.
Right. So the first droid that he comes up on is one of the it's a CZ model droid. CZD2 9000 is what
I would have never guessed that in a million years.
Is what the droid calls itself. And it is the droid that is it's the first droid that I think it's the first droid that R2 goes by in the Sandcrawler.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I
got it on the screen there. Yes, the kind of like I don't want to use the R word, but he looks like a special. He looks special, and I love it. What the joke here is, like he wakes up, he goes, "I am," and he immediately shuts him off. That is a Star Wars joke.
Yeah,
like
I am CZD2 9000. Click.
Shut up.
He's super annoying.
He even said it when we were watching it. I'm like, thank you. I actually was thinking Crimson Jack. That droid would have just kept talking and talking and talking and talking.
It's okay. So then the next droid, the next droid he turns on is what the old Kenner 1980s toys called a Death Star droid, because we do in fact see one on the Death Star, but I think there's also one on that Sandcrawler, just a silver protocol droid. It's the same model droid from, I think it was Clone Wars, maybe season 5 or 6, that does the weird hallucination trip. Yeah. Oh, I gotta find that clip.
I think I have it somewhere.
Did you think about like how the droids he chose first, like the ones he chose to start, were like the ones we could probably carry, or like wouldn't be too much of a hassle?
Well, I mean, they're not buried. He doesn't want to go for the ones that are buried because this was a recent capture,
right?
But he's also not going for anything real big.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
Because the third droid that he turns on.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Is which droid is this? The second droid?
This is the second one. Yeah, just the back.
Okay.
The prince is in danger. The prince is in danger. I can't see, like, just because that's the last thought the droid had before they were turned off. I like that. That's cool.
You know that prince died.
It's kind of dark.
Yeah, the prince died. Yeah,
that's way dark. But that's the back. That's the back of the droid's head. You can't really see what it looks like.
Yeah, that's the best we could do here. But the battle droid. His line is like the classic. Yeah. I love the writing in this, like the fun they're having with the writing on this. Because did you already see the line that the battle droid gives?
No. Did we win? No.
He doesn't even bother answering.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have to because the thing just falls apart.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't one of their like heads fall off or something like broke apart on one of them?
Battle droid. Yeah, the battle droid's head falls off.
They're pieces of crap.
Oh, here we go. This is a topical one.
Yeah.
Then, of course,
let's see.
He wakes up.
I guess this works. Putting that one in the first slot and just toggling it like that. That works. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the droid they told him to find. The big.
It was the rat.
The big droid with the one rat with the rat living in its face.
Yeah. The confirmation was the rat.
Yes. Yeah. Because Neil mentions the rat. He's like, save the rat too. And I have to say, I love the rat idea that lives in his head. It's just, everything about this.
Yeah,
this character is great.
It's good.
It's endearing.
It's silly.
And
It's silly.
And he's like, good enough. He shirts him off immediately.
Yeah, I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah, take that as a confirmation.
But then he starts loading him into like
a
push
cart or
cart.
something.
Now, why wouldn't he just
let him
have
walk?
him walk? Yeah.
Maybe he's broken. Well, is he broken still? But no, he
Well, he has a peg leg. I mean, he would probably be noticed more. It's easier, like put him in a cart, throw a sheet over him.
Yes,
and he's just somebody pushing.
That's right. Droids primarily. Like there was definitely that impression. You can't trust them. Like you can't count on a droid. And I think he would figure that the droid is going to get him into more shit instead of being able to just sneak out quietly.
Right.
Yeah.
Quietly.
Especially a droid with an attitude.
Yeah.
There's a cameo in the scene. The other pirate that shows up to catch him in the act is an actor. I forget who plays him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The voice. I didn't recognize the voice, but it got mentioned on several podcasts.
It's Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
Dr. Octopus from the old Spider-Man.
Also, the guy who screws over Indiana Jones.
Yes, he is the guy who screws over Indiana Jones.
Which guy that screws
and
over
then ends up with a back full of darts.
Oh, that guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's
I would have never guessed that name.
As a very young man. Yes.
Yeah. Dr. Octopus and that Tomb Raider guy are the same guy.
I would have never guessed who that was because
I
just heard that it was like a cameo.
Yeah. Yep.
But that whole him having to, so this is where we're getting character development for the captain, like him having to talk his way out of this thing, like don't say anything, for old time's sake. But I found the big score that I've been looking for this whole time. He's trying to charm this guy, like if you let me go,
it's also giving us as the viewers, oh crap, we can't trust this guy. He's really going to try to rip off these kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was the alarms are going off already. Like, okay, this guy is
This
shady.
is.
I did appreciate it from a pirate crew standpoint that like here's an old loyalist.
Right. Yeah, no, you were the best captain I ever had. That all that dialogue was great. And as soon as he finds out though that Jack freed himself, that we might have to be calling the guards now.
Yeah.
I like the pirate dialogue and everything.
And there was like a whole. Well, no, he actually says that. Well, here that's the trick, isn't it? Same line that Han Solo gives to Obi-Wan when Obi-Wan asks about dodging the Empire in the first Star Wars movie. Sorry, I keep calling it that instead of A New Hope because when I saw it, it was just called Star Wars. But that's a me thing. The initiative crew member talks about calling the guards, and then they cut to the kids back on the Onyx Cinder.
Yes.
Talking about how the faking of the Force could happen and all the different pieces of technology that's available to them can make it look like something is floating.
Here we go. I got it.
And Fern says the best line. They could have used string.
Yeah.
Repulsors, vector beams, magnets,
mirrors, string. Yeah. And string, it's like, like really thin string. But in reality, the way they filmed that scene, they actually slid that key down a piece of string and then digitally scrubbed the string out.
Just put it on like fishing line, hold it tight, and then just like let it slide on down.
We skipped over it, but I like the one line before he leaves. He's like, "Don't touch the panel. Like you wouldn't want to be getting out of here without me."
You would,
and they're like,
"You wouldn't want to blast off without
him." Yeah, we should blast off without him. Like that was a good line.
But KB points out to French, she's like, "We're just kids." It's like,
where are they going to go? They don't even have Smee.
Right.
They just starve in the middle of nowhere.
Well, would they starve out in the middle of nowhere? Because
apparently because they didn't know how to make the stew.
Yeah, like he was the only one who figured out how to make the porridge.
What was that, anyways? It was just disgusting.
Like protein oatmeal on a starship, like survival rations.
Green.
Yeah, that's how
it was algae stew.
Yeah, the food in Star Wars is interesting to say the least.
It's interesting isn't the right word.
Depending on what planet. Depending on what planet you're on.
Damn near
Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, it's freeze.
And they do a good job with Star Wars food at Disneyland, so most of it.
Yeah. Those what are those pods called at Oga's? Those are
the Rorschach pods.
Rorschach pods, yeah.
They're my favorite thing.
Get me one of the Coca-Cola bottles.
So good.
The Coca-Colas. Get me one of the Coca-Colas in the little like thermal detonator.
Oh yeah. You want that? I can get you on Saturday.
So while they're debating his powers, and
I think I have some on the back table back there, or at least one. Yeah, an empty bottle at least.
While they're debating on the ship, yeah, go ahead.
While they're debating on the ship, we see Jod being chased
by the entire
bunch of pirates, each on their own little transport skiff. What was that character from the Ewok movie?
Oh, here we go.
Like just rushing towards the ship, and it's kind of a really interesting shot because we get Jod barreling down on their airlock hatch, and all of a sudden he's in the ship saying hit the throttle. Like I feel
he dove through the hatch.
Yeah, I feel like
there was some editing magic there.
It was faster than the airlock could have opened.
That's an off screen, like they wizarded it.
There is
like, come on, there could have been some good comedy of him like open.
Yeah, they're like, did he use the Force to open it? Like
maybe.
There is a shot. Somebody shared it. Space? I actually brought up I have on my television set.
I have a shot of him being chased, a couple of them in the pod, like him flying, like with the tiny little joystick. I like that because that little pod is being, flown by a teak. So he's just trying to like manipulate this tiny joystick back to the ship. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, that is pretty hilarious. Mm-hmm. But there's a shot. I'm trying to find it. I just brought up
Put up the one I have right now while you're looking. This is straight up Buck Rogers, and so everybody complaining about the nostalgia factor. They're like, they're just going for nostalgia. This is all just like a gimmick. It's like Star Wars is based on Buck Rogers, like for George Lucas's hit childhood.
It's Buck Rogers, and it's like Errol Flynn era pirates.
Right.
It's
like this is going back to like Star Wars' roots, actually. The people, they're missing it, man. They're missing out, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing is supposed to be, even the. I mean, even, I don't think I mentioned it, but in episode 2 of this series, when that kid that's challenging them to the race, the girls to the race. He's named after Harrison Ford's character in American Graffiti.
Oh, deep cut.
And
we just watched American Graffiti not too long ago.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
No, it's a great.
It got nominated for an Oscar. I know you don't care about that.
Usually,
I don't think you would hate it. So don't go there yet. I don't think you would hate it.
Absolutely.
You think?
When things are nominated for awards, I have a tendency to never watch it if I haven't already seen it.
Okay, hipster.
That's just the running thing.
For the reason that you would you would watch it. Did I freeze? I only see my one screen now. I don't see anybody
Oh
else.
no, I forgot to.
The only reason you would watch it, I think, if you were to, is for all the Lucas jokes, like the license plate THX 1138. That's George Lucas's phone number when he was a kid. The Harrison Ford driving that his hot rod is like the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
There's like, you can see some of the DNA there in Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's some of that there. It's not Star Wars itself, but there's some DNA in there, and there's some funny situations, and it's a funny movie. It's a pretty funny movie.
I mean, you probably wouldn't love it, but I don't think you would hate it.
It just seems.
What I'm saying is, I think you could get through it if we prepared properly.
Sure. Maybe
whatever
let
that
us know in
means.
the comments. You want to see this in a stream? Let us know. Let us know. Live reaction to my first screening of American Graffiti. But back to the show that we're here to all talk about. So John gets back on the ship and jumps in the pilot's seat and is
I love this kind of action.
Let's go. And he starts to
just
try to take off.
Accelerator.
Yeah. And they're tethered. So he's like, all right, let's figure this out.
A shot of that.
Oh, that's a super long, super strong fuel line. And
that's what gets
comes up with the idea
he
to
was
start.
He was surprised, like that is extremely strong.
Yeah. So
I have a feeling they also use it to like keep ships from leaving without paying too. So there's like a purpose there.
Yeah. Because who's giving out free fuel? There's a bunch of pirates.
Yeah, it's a bunch of pirates.
Right?
They'll leave if they can.
If they could get free fuel, they're gonna get free fuel. Yeah. I mean, you know.
You can I have a screenshot of that part right there. Just for the sake of having it.
Like, sure.
It's like fully taut.
It's sorry, Kate.
And then he goes around like slamming into other ships back and forth. It's just classic Star Wars hijinks. Escape hijinks.
It's yeah. So he starts dragging the ships that are all moored to the same buoy together. Meanwhile, Brutus is yelling for them to get the cannon ready. So they're bringing a cannon online to start shooting at them because and
they're pirates.
They're pirates. They're gonna there it is. That's the cannon that I'm looking for. And then Neil notices that. He's like, should we be worried about that? And then Jack gets the idea to jump into hyperspace. So, and then
which is being done a lot lately.
Yeah, and KB's like, isn't it highly dangerous to jump into hyperspace when you're tethered to something?
Never tell me the odds.
Not my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even his ship. What does he care? Yeah, and he doesn't care about the damage that happens to the.
And he gets scattered into like millions of particles, but
and that's right. Right before he gets up to do that, he lets Wim take the controls, which I don't know if that's a good idea. And then
he's trying out everybody at the controls though.
Yeah. He is.
Except Fern, because she's the captain.
Right. Yeah, I don't think a lot of kids understand that the captain usually doesn't steer the ship.
Nope.
That's the helmsman's job.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
that isn't
like we'll get we get them taken off, just barely getting missed by the bolt, and then the
wire like destroys.
Fuel line snaps off, shoots back. We get
that was satisfying, to be honest. Like all
that was satisfying.
Yeah, it's just like a big old whip, just cracking right down on the middle of the landing area there, the cargo dock area there. It's had to at least kill a couple people. I could only find footage of one character or one being getting physically hit by it, but collateral damage is going to happen.
Then Brutus is all.
And Brutus
pissed.
doesn't even care. The stuff just it falls right down in front of him, and he doesn't flinch because he's a badass. And
order.
Yeah.
So they escape. They make their escape there, and now they have a bounty on their head.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because wait, does he have a name yet? Did they
mean Jamil?
Did they give Jalil?
Urkel?
Yeah, like he has subtitle, but they don't give him a character title. You know, I'm gonna have to check the credits and see if he actually has a line or credit, because yeah. Do you want me to go after him, Captain? but there's no.
We'll get to see more of him later. I'm pretty sure.
I hope so. And he sounded normal. Mm-hmm. He didn't sound like he was doing,
voice
doing a ridiculous character voice. You know, it would have been hilarious though if he walked up and went, "Did I do that?"
He probably said it was probably written into his contract. I will not say that.
Right? If
you want me in this,
I cannot. I refuse to do any Steve Urkelisms.
Yeah.
No Urkelisms.
Or Stefan.
Yeah, no, that's why I just changed. Yeah, no, or isn't there a female one too? Isn't there a didn't Urkel like maybe a Stephanie? I don't know. So they get away and the kids find Smee and turn him back on and explain.
Yeah, they're asking if he's dead. Here we go.
Right. Yeah. Is he dead? But KB's like, no, he's just turned off. And
yeah, KB's working on him. So she knows how to work on droids too.
Yeah. Well, she's their tech person.
It makes you wonder what her medical issues are, and because if they lose her, they're going to be in serious trouble. As far as
you think they're going to lose, you think anybody's going to get lost on this show?
No, but she might just pass out, and they don't know how to help her or what to do.
Diabetic coma?
No. Who knows? She doesn't get her android medication or whatever, to
her anti-rejection drugs.
Exactly. We don't know what's going.
All right. I feel like
so now they introduce Smee properly to Crimson Jack.
Right. Or Jod Wood. Or Captain.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Yeah, so yeah. What is his name? Which of those names do you think is his true name?
That we don't know. He's untrustworthy.
What do you think is most likely?
Not Jod.
Not Jod? No. Jod not Jod Nawood?
Jod Nawood.
Nawood. Yeah, my name is Nawood, not Jod. So his name is Jod because that's the first one he denies being. He went, Jod, Nawood, that's it. No.
Like he's struggling to come up with the name, and that's what he came up with.
But I mean, all the subtitles call him Jod. Even after they call him other things, it still says Jod if he's off camera and speaking.
Here we go.
But yeah, so right after
that's when they tell him, oh, he's a Jedi.
Oh yeah, he's Jedi. And while they're doing that though, he's at the counter cooking.
Yes,
he makes himself the stew. And
a very human moment.
But he's very obnoxious. Scraping the bowl with the spoon. Kinda,
you hear Neil's stomach growling.
Yeah. And then he tries to hand the ball off to SM-33. And he's like, here, droid. Like he's very very I don't know what's the right word. It's everything that
assert dominance.
Everything that why can't I remember what was Lando's droid's name in the Solo movie? The one that ends up becoming part of the computer
Lando's
system.
name? Oh, L something.
Yeah, she was all about droids' rights. Like it's because of people like Jod.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, droids are subservient in Star Wars, or they're supposed to be.
At least, well, that's what how they were designed, and then
Mhm.
you know how subservient is AI. I guess we'll find out on this planet pretty soon. You know, only a few more years before Skynet takes over.
I think he's also worried about Smee destroying his chances of stealing or getting to At-Aten, and maybe.
Yeah, and he
Right.
almost died rescuing him too. He's just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's an obstacle. I feel like for him,
he's
he's worried about.
He's the biggest threat on the ship, and if he was like a
Yeah.
skilled Force user, he might be able to, you know, take out a lone droid that's going. But
Right.
Yeah. So sorry, I feel
he actually feeds the kids. So this humanizes him a little bit. Like he's like, all right, I gotta feed these kids now, and not only that, make sure they get some sleep too.
Yeah.
Because there's the whole joke, like, I'm not even tired. Cut to like,
yeah,
just passed out like on the bed. You know, because they've been up for like what 48 hours or something. They were in the brig before that. And that lets
because they were.
What are you going to call him for short?
After
Captain?
school,
I'm just going to call him
the captain, the Jod,
he's like real captain.
Jack Jod.
Mm-hmm.
He's like 5 or 6 different Disney characters all mixed up.
Crimson Jack just makes me think of Captain Jack. My brain goes automatically to pirates.
Right. Well, there's in some of the Marvel Star Wars comics, there's actually another character called Crimson Jack.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, but people are saying that it can't be the same person. So this guy might just be
using it as an alias,
using other monikers of well-known things to
just keep his cover. Yeah,
because the pirates call him one thing, the person that we're going to go see next calls him another.
Yeah.
You know, so it's and the kids know him as something else. Maybe we'll meet somebody in the next episode who calls him yet another name.
You know? He's a charlatan. He's a charlatan. Just goes by many names.
Yeah,
he's
a pirate.
He's a pirate. But
with a heart of gold, he feeds the kids.
I was going to say. I mean, he does feed the kids, and he's for me. Some part of him seems like he's good. I don't know if
Does he feed the kids because he was like, if I eat this poison and I'm going to die from it, so are they?
No, I don't think so.
But the way he does it is kind of, snarky, like there's more in the pot. Because they think like that's all, like he just made it for himself and that there's more in the pot. Oh, and they all like run and try to eat it.
So what is this next screenshot you have here?
That is Neil feeding the
rat.
Oh yeah, the little rat. Yeah.
Does the rat eat it?
Yes.
I don't. Did he?
It does. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It grabs a little bit and then eats it.
Yeah, a little chunk.
Okay, I felt like he like looked at it and was like, nah.
No, it grabs it.
All right.
That rat's no dummy. But yeah, once the kids are asleep, it gives them a chance to like walk around and look at at boots and everything.
But all the kids were asleep,
except for KB.
And then
KB is like, I run the numbers, and it's highly unlikely that you're a Jedi. Like she tells him.
And he's like you can't calculate everything.
Yeah,
which is basically don't tell me the odds.
Yes. And he flicks the light off with the Force.
Allegedly.
To like make his point.
Some people are saying that he was standing in front of the light switch and just flicked it off behind his back. But
It could be. I mean, he's shown some prowess before.
Yeah,
but I like you see him walking around alone. I don't have a screenshot for this that I can find quickly. But he finds the sword and that makes him happy. Like he has like this happy. He's like unsure.
But when he pulls that knife out of that skeleton's chest, there's like a weird like a pop hiss noise. Kind of like the noise, and there's a little puff of smoke too. I mean, it might be just dust. But it reminded me kind of when that character in Ahsoka got turned into green mist.
Okay.
You know,
but I don't think that was any force powers in that skeleton.
No, but people are saying maybe the ship is going to turn out to also be haunted. Yeah. The spooky ship.
A haunted pirate ship.
The skeleton crew is literal.
What's more Disney than a haunted pirate ship?
Right? I mean, they're leaning into all like the tropes here, and I don't hate it.
No, it's good. You can't pick and choose. You got to go full shebang. But
this is when she.
But so Jod tries to like get tough with Smee, and Smee stands fully up and is like a foot taller.
Yes,
when
he biffs him.
Yeah, that scene was great. Great. I have a shot of it somewhere.
And so Jod starts asking SM33 about the kids. Are they really from Manhattan?
Oh, that's not it.
And Smee says something like, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to repeat myself. And these kids are from somewhere. And then walks away and then comes back.
Yeah, that whole line
is the same thing.
I'll be keeping my eye on you, I says. And then he walks around again and repeats himself. What I like is that he obviously pushed the captain really hard because the captain's like, like for like the rest of the scene, he's like rubbing his chest. Like he got him in a sore spot or something.
Right?
Oh yeah, here you go. Who are you to give orders?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Who are you to give orders?
Because I thought in this scene that we were going to get a reveal like Smee like recognizes him or something, but I guess Captain Jack is way too young.
Yes. I mean, think about
he can tell something's off with him though.
Right. He's like, you're not. He knows he's not a Jedi because well, where's your lightsaber?
Jedi.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. But yeah, so
the intimidation thing was great too when he gets taller.
Yeah.
That's a cool. Just a good snappy writing. I like it. It gets the job done in a charming way. It's good stuff. I like Smee a lot in this show.
Yeah, so the kids aren't asleep quite yet. We jumped around a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the kids are eating while he's away, and
Wim's
got all his credits out on the table. And they start talking about Jack, and they're like, okay, he's really a pirate. And when he comes back in the room, Wim pulls all his credits together, puts his bowl upside down over it. Neil flips his bowl over, like, to just be like, this is what we do.
Like we do this.
This is what we do when we're done eating. We flip our plate over. That's how we let you know that we're done.
It's a normal thing we do on that. And
if they don't know, they don't know. And then after that scene is when KB does the whole, I ran the numbers and all that kind of stuff. But while the kids are sitting at the table, they are all talking about what their parents actually do on Manhattan. And they realize all of them just run numbers. Yep. They do stuff with finances
for the great work.
Yeah. So
I don't like the sound of the great work. It sounds horrible. It's nothing good.
It ain't good, that's for sure.
No, it's definitely not good. Nothing that's called something like that is ever good.
Yeah. Oh man. So let's see, where are we at?
So he finally gets then he does get the kids to go to sleep, and they eventually make their way to Because we already covered the.
So did they give?
Oh, is there somebody in the chat?
It's some guy that kind of lurks.
Oh, okay.
He's the lurker. No, it's Baffy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's up, Baffy? How you doing, bro? So they don't give a name for the planet that they go to.
That's true, because a lot of times they usually drop the planet name, but they didn't in this case.
Yeah.
He just says my friend's moon.
Yes.
Yeah, his friend's moon.
With really like theremin 50s, 60s sci-fi music. Ooh.
Yeah.
Once they had the theremin start, it never stopped.
Yes.
Yeah.
They leaned big time into it. I was laughing because I get a kick out of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I wonder how people reacted to that. Like modern people.
It was
like,
it was kind of a weird thing. I immediately thought of Mars Attacks.
Yes. Precisely.
I was like, oh no, we're gonna get a bunch of guys going ack.
Right.
But
they lean super heavy.
But so we get a shot of KB lying in her bed, and she just kind of opens her eyes like she's like an android, kind of the same exact shot of when Lando calls Lobot. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
that's a good point. I think I had it up earlier, but yes. I didn't put the two together. Yeah. That is kind of bizarre, huh? There's something going on with her. I feel
she like her the side of her headpiece started flashing, and oh hey, Kelly's here too. Hi Kelly.
Yeah, she opens her eyes like Lobot. Empire Strikes Back, 1980. Dang, that's a deep cut.
Yeah,
that is a deep cut.
So now she's in the chat with us.
And they land.
And they're all coming off the ship, and they KB's in the foreground, and then they show Wim kind of riding on the arm of a loader.
Yes, I was wondering. I not only noticed it the second time I watched it, I was like, "What the heck is he doing?"
I'm wondering. You think that's going to be used?
Yes,
as a plot device in a future episode.
Yeah, Pavlov's gun. It's a rule in writing. If you show it, it's going to have to be used.
You mean Chekhov's gun?
Chekhov's gun. Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah. Pavlov and Chekhov are totally different people.
I got it. Oh, they're both Russians.
Did you know that Chekhov actually wrote a play where he did the Chekhov's gun in Act 1 and then intentionally made sure to never use it?
Just to be like, see, I didn't use it.
Exactly. He violated his own rule.
Oh my God. But typically, yes, if you show it, you're going to use it. That thing is going to be useful later on, the cargo loader. You know, supposedly the Falcon has something like that too.
Yeah.
You just never see it.
Yep. You just never see it.
But to grab
cargo. I mean, it's a freighter. Makes sense.
This moon is cold.
Yeah, it's kind of like
sand is harsh.
Is that next time they're gonna be like there's sand everywhere? It's coarse. No. Sorry. I don't want
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Right?
And then you get the cool shots, so the volume shots, right? We're getting these volume shots now. I'll put them up.
This is definitely all volume shots.
But this is totally ET in my opinion. Like the kids riding their bicycle kind of.
Sorry, Jim, wrong button.
Zoom in a little bit.
Oops, wrong button again. There we go. It's
one of the greatest shots in the series so far. Very cool.
Right. And the kids figure out that he's trying to hide the ship by landing so far away.
And he's trying to teach them like life lessons, like, okay, don't they're gonna stab you in the back. And Neil's like, they're gonna stab us in the back. He's like, well, not literally. well, maybe, but and he's like, does that make sense? And Neil's like, no,
I don't know.
No.
And he's like, well, never mind then. We'll just keep going. The writing is really good.
I feel like these kids are like
they're sheltered. They live in a weird bubble.
Well,
yeah, they're cult kids.
I don't know if they've said like their actual ages. I don't think they've said their actual ages on this show.
No.
But I think 10, the girls 11. Are a little bit older than the boys.
For sure. Neil and Wim seem like they're maybe like 11, 10 or 11, and the girls seem like they're maybe like 13.
Yeah, exactly.
These kids, though, have never drank from a garden hose.
No.
Do they have that?
They have lawns.
They do have lawns, but I mean, sprinkler systems are a thing. But is there like, is there a hose or is there a robot sprayer thing? Like, it's just its
so they never drank
water
from.
tank
We just know they're.
They never drank from a droid. Yeah,
That's
and then that's ooh. Where's the spout? Oh no,
You don't want to know.
Oh man,
Keep it PG, man. Keep it PG.
The feed's already been canceled.
Okay, so yet another thing that was way too easy happens when they finally get to the door, and the
iBots or whatever,
the security droids.
I forgot though because she calls the cops first.
Yeah, she does. She sees them coming. She's like, she calls him Crimson Jack is here. He's got a flock of children with him. She calls them a flock. Because I don't know if you guys also, I forgot to mention when they escaped from the pirate planet thing, Brutus refers to the children as pups.
Yep. It depends on what species.
And now we have this character
good
calling them a flock, and then we
just other ways of calling them younglings.
But we know they're the skeleton crew.
Yeah, they're a bunch of boners. But yeah, so we get the TTL. I think they're TTL droids is what they're called.
Oh, good.
The eyeball things from Jabba's palace.
I kind of half expected it to speak Huttese, just because of Jedi, but it's not the case here.
No, but it's because it speaks whatever language. They're not really. I don't think they're really droids. I think they're doorbell. They're like a security camera.
Yeah,
and it's like a ring thing. You could set it to an auto voice, or you could actually talk through it.
Yeah,
and she's straight up talking through it.
And she's talking to them through it. But before they get to the door, though, there is a whole lot of Han talking to Leia about Lando dialogue homage. Like,
example,
he's like, I don't know if I can trust her. She might, all that stuff. Like a scoundrel coming up to another scoundrel. Can we trust them? No. And he even says, I don't trust her. He's like, I don't trust her. So, and obviously she's not trust.
The whole stab us in the back.
She's a good guy, but untrustworthy for a bad guy in this situation.
Yeah, it's reversed.
She views him as
the shady
bad
one.
guy. Yeah,
he's the super shady one.
It wasn't unreasonable,
right? But he does
precautions.
He does like apologize a little bit about.
I know it was bad, but like we left off on bad foot last time.
But I brought you something really good this time.
Right, but then the kids go in, and we see.
Oh, here we go.
The most books we've ever seen in Star Wars. Yeah. Anything more than any cartoon series, anything. The most paper exists.
Well, she's like a library of ancient tomes.
Oh yeah. Oh, push the wrong button again. What is this? What are you showing here?
That's her.
Must be kidnapped. Yeah, she tells the New Republic that that these kids have been kidnapped by Jod na.
Let me try to find a picture of her.
Captain
and
Crimson Jack.
Yeah, so she's a little owl cat
What do you think of
thing.
her creature design?
It's kind of strange. It's kind of strange.
It's kind of what?
Strange.
Oh, strange. I know. I got a very Harry Potter, like a talking owl that has a cape.
Yeah.
And I like Harry Potter, so that was fine with me.
I was definitely surprised by it. Even, I mean, again, everybody here knows that I'm a Star Wars noob. For some reason, it was surprising to me that that's what she looked like, but I thought she was cute.
It surprised us too.
I wonder if they're going to be selling this toy at Disney parks.
It was one of the first thoughts that I had.
Yeah, it's like where is this? So
it would make sense because it's a very kid focused show,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know they're going to be selling out of Neil toys.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got maps.
I mean, did you hear him sleep? No. Did anybody notice that? I forgot to mention that while he was asleep. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, his little elephant sound, and
yeah, it was kind of Three Stooges Curly's kind of sounding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the kids tell Kim, whose name is spelled like KH''YMM.
I was wondering. I was like, Kim, like that's not a Star Wars name. It's got to be.
It is when it's written like that.
Yeah. It's spelled really strange.
I mean, when I used to play Star Wars Galaxies, I tried to Star Warsify the spelling of my name, so I added an apostrophe after the first O in my name, and then Sam Hain. I made it the phonetically proper way to say it, Samhain, but I spelled it like SAU apostrophe WYYN. To Star Warsify it.
Yeah.
What are the
apostrophes?
Apostrophes and the letter Y.
Mm-hmm.
Like makes it from a galaxy far, far away.
What I like about this scene is like the lore. When she finally starts talking, we get like some info, like the 9 planets, and she brings out a scroll, like an actual scroll. Because they ask, is that a map? And she's like, no.
She says there is no map to your planet because your planet was purposely hidden, along with 8 other planets.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's what this screenshot is.
This is some new lore. It's always fun to get some new ancient history lore.
Some new lore.
And the other 8 planets were destroyed, which is interesting. Like, what the heck happened there? Maybe.
Well, I feel like
Empire.
I feel like maybe they were all reportedly destroyed. Maybe more than one of them survived. Who knows?
Yeah.
I know
reported destroyed is not destroyed.
Yeah. And now she says that now
we're going to see the ruins of one though, because we saw in the trailer. There's been screenshots in trailer in that music video thing that they released last week. There's some screenshots of some destroyed at looking places.
It'd be funny if one of the worlds was one of the 9 planets was Alderaan.
Why can't we just get all the episodes at once?
Thank you, Netflix, but you already ruined Blockbuster Video. We tried to
be a 7-hour stream.
Plus it would be done. We'd be done talking about it after like 3 hours.
Yeah, one week. That's it. It gets a 1 week discourse. I actually was talking about this on in a chat on the comments thread of Star Wars Meg's video just a couple days ago. Maybe it was yesterday. It's like, when these shows. When Netflix drops a show all in one day, if it doesn't get binged to all hell within the first 2 or 3 days, it gets canceled.
Yeah, it's like gotta get completion. It's gotta get completion numbers.
And if it doesn't hit that mark in under a week, it's gone.
That sucks because I try not to binge shows like on purpose because I don't want them to be done so quickly. But
you want to savor them, especially if they're good.
Yeah, they kind of force you into it. But Dan and I watch a lot of TV shows together, and it's purposeful to not.
Yeah, but people have stuff going on, and you can't always just like, oh, I'm gonna sit here and watch
I'm gonna watch 7 4 to 17 hours depending on the show.
Yeah, unfortunately we have jobs and lives and other things we need to be doing.
Yeah.
During COVID people were binging,
which made sense then, but I don't know if they think that people still want their TV in doses like that. I know there's a lot of backlash for a lot of shows that have been canceled recently for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Good shows.
Yeah. I feel like the Acolyte might have been one of them.
But on the other hand, like other branches of Disney like corporation are more okay with like binge model, like FX. FX is like, yeah, here's the whole thing. Have the whole season of The Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. They really just like whether they
but wait,
I don't think it matters as much to them.
FX has The Bear.
Huh?
FX is showing The Bear, but The Bear came out on Hulu originally, didn't it?
But it's an FX network show. Which is all it's all Fox anyways.
Did they drop the OG dropped it all at once, or once it hit cable?
First season came out like a normal TV show, and the most recent season came out binge model, I believe.
Okay. Yeah,
a lot of shows are going against the binge model too. Like Only Murders in the Building releases weekly.
That came out.
That's a Hulu show. And Apple TV, Bad Monkey. Most of Apple TV's shows drop weekly.
Yeah. If it's weekly, then you get to have that weekly discourse about it. If it's all at once, talk about it for maybe a week, and then it's gone.
I also think that the shows that they're willing to drop in binges are things that are not like post-production intensive. Like there's not a bunch of special effects.
Right.
Like, it doesn't cost them as much to like drop it, and like what happens. Let it find its audience. Whereas something that costs like multiple, tens of millions of dollars per episode, they need to see the return of investment immediately.
Yeah. Which isn't really realistic.
Yeah. No.
But so these kids are talking back to the what everybody's here for.
Yeah, back to Alderaan.
Yeah. Alderaan place.
It was a good line. Because she's asking them, okay, tell me about your planet. Like, what do you see in the sky?
Yeah. We learn about Coruscant and Alderaan. And
they mentioned Neil says there's a swirl in the sky, so she's like gases. So maybe that's why it's hidden. And she starts to unravel the mystery, like where their planet is, trying to find it. And this line was great. It's like, you missed the war, because Alderaan was blown up in the first Star Wars movie in 1977.
Yeah. Right. I also appreciated when she we know that there's a gas nebula gases that cuts it down to 10,000 planets, and KB's on the bright side. I was like, that's 99.99% of
the entire galaxy. Yeah, that's because that's a huge filter right there.
Yes, it is.
It is.
So then she notices the medallion. I thought I had a shot of it on Fern's backpack.
Right.
The top of the class.
Mm-hmm. And she's starting to get really excited about everything.
The logo that was on the top of the class that they used to derive where the thing is was also on the mural at the beginning of the episode with the figures at the very top of it. Mm-hmm. It had the actual the W shape.
Oh, let me see right there.
Yeah, up on the very top of the thing is kind of cut off.
But it's the same. It's the same thing, huh?
Yeah, it's the same shape.
Wow.
So while they're all doing this, she's running her analytical stuffs. In the background, if you notice, the whole room is spinning. But I don't know if
slowly
they're on is spinning or just around them is spinning, because it's it's an R array, right? And it's all just with telescopes and all kinds of stuff. Like she's the wise owl lady thing.
Yep.
So I was a little disappointed we didn't get Maz Kanata, but I was also a little bit relieved we didn't get Maz Kanata.
I think they don't want to touch the movies, and that's fine. No. I mean, other than references like that.
Yeah.
Trying to see if I got the backpack medallion symbol. I had it earlier, I thought.
But when she finally does get right before let's see, she's stalling I'm trying to remember that.
She gets really excited about it, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be stalling them."
Right.
Yeah.
And Jack picks up on it.
They give her like an actual like intriguing problem, and she like kind of forgets about the like, oh yeah, I'm stalling to get
I called the cops. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But Jack reminds her.
Yep.
He kind of just like wanders around and sees like the thing squawking, huh?
Yeah. Here's the thing. You got a good subtitle there, Dan. The inbound to your position. So he knows that X-Wings are coming. And he
just turns up her radio. That's hilarious. Like just turns it up. It's like,
And when they do get their data, it's on a old style punch card.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that. I thought that was hilarious. Like IBM punch card.
Yeah. And it looks like a freaking saving icon from a 8-bit video game.
Tabulation's like one of the oldest forms of computing.
Yeah.
And that's basically what she did. She made a tabulation punch card.
Yeah. It's as binary as you get.
So now he's kind of pissed.
Yeah, he's kind of pissed, and they know they need to flee, or at least he knows he needs to flee. Yeah, they are. He pulls a gun on her at first, and she's like, "You won't shoot me," but he does end up shooting her computer after they get their data.
Yeah,
he does start blasting.
Yeah, and then not only does he start blasting, she gets knocked down and gets trapped under a pile of books, but KB goes and finds her, makes sure she's okay. And she tells KB that you could always contact me. Now, I don't know if that means right then and there their headsets link up or what, but how is she supposed to contact her?
She's got the phone number now.
She got her phone number? Like what? I mean, that's just some kind of Bluetooth quick share stuff. Like what's going on?
I mean, she could have given something in her implants. Who knows?
They have Irish postmen there.
You mean they're drunk?
No, they know where every single person lives.
Yeah.
Like apparently the way it works there is that like you can just like write the name of the house down. You don't need the address. You'll just like if you know the name of the estate or like if it has a house like a name, they know the names. So that's the way it works. It's like I need a message delivered to the owl lady on a weird like planet like that, that's next to a gas giant. Yeah, we got that.
Oh, this is the fight. Run for it.
So
classic.
So when they run outside of her place, and you see 2 X-Wings coming in.
Yeah.
Right. With their spotlights going on. And I thought we were going to get Carson Teva and
I thought we would see some recognizable like X-Wing pilots or something.
But we don't get Carson or Trapper Wolf. So no Paul, what are their names? I forgot their actor names. But one of them's Dave. and
who is now the creative director of
and the other is but they KB runs out and like almost tries to wave at him.
Yes.
And then
so there's a confrontation on the ramp.
Yeah.
Before they probably talk a little bit about that.
But before we get to the confrontation on the ramp, they get to the little hillside before the ramp, and Neil falls down the hillside.
You notice that? Of course he does. He just rolls down of course it's like the fat kid that dork.
He is Chunk.
Yeah, Chunk. So KB is like, because they don't trust him.
Well, it doesn't. When KB's talking to Kim says like find out, right? She says something else. She tells him to tells her to make sure you know what you're getting into, and
that's right.
Make him tell you tell you the truth.
Yes, that's what she says. Make him tell you the truth. And right before Neil falls, KB actually says, "Until you tell us the truth."
Yeah.
And that's when he admits to not being a Jedi. but he's like, no, I'll tell you on the ship. He keeps saying, I'll tell you on
he's
the ship.
he's trying to just get on the ship without.
Yeah. And he gets
Smee is at the top of the ramp, right? Like
yeah. He's
That's
like,
why he
Captain,
can't just blow past
is the
him.
Jedi giving you trouble? He's like,
he's just kind of looking like, watch what you do here. Play your cards carefully.
And of course, he says Jedi very sarcastically.
Yeah.
Is the Jedi giving you trouble?
He knows. Like, Smee's not dumb in that regard. Like, he just knows this guy is full of BS.
Full of baloney. Full of baloney.
Bantha poodoo.
But they get to the point where he tells them enough to what they want to hear to let him on the ship.
Mm-hmm. You work for us now.
Yeah, they make a deal where he's going to work for them. We get another close up of the X-wings, and they're got the blue splotch. So this is Blue Squadron for whatever that's worth. And he takes these kids on a high-speed chase.
Has them shoot at some people.
Puts Neil in the pilot seat and tells him just kind of go back, just
I respect that.
Wiggle a little bit to maneuver.
Neil was not happy about that.
I think Neil is such a bad pilot that it actually worked in their favor. I think that was
right.
Like, he just would do erratic patterns.
Fern was really not happy with it. She's like, "Why is Neil flying the ship?"
But you need you need a jink pattern, and someone who can't fly is going to be like,
yeah.
Like me on Millennium Falcon 99% of the time on Smuggler's Run.
Well, we got a 99% score. What?
That happened once. I was able to be a good pilot one time.
Yeah, it's master pirate. But we work for Hondo, not these guys. So he puts Neil in the pilot seat. And he takes Fern and Wim to the gunner stations, and we get.
I like how that's done, like periscope style into a.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we get it. We get
Very
basically. Oops!
I also love how they differentiate the two characters, where Fern needs an invitation to get in, and as soon as it's down,
Wim's like, yeah.
He's he's spinning the turret, just firing at random immediately.
Yeah, exactly. He's like every kid who gets the gunner slot on Smuggler's Run at Disneyland. Shoot at everything, non-stop. Can't stop, won't stop. And they actually, one of them lands a shot on one of the X-wings, and we get the classic "got him," and instead of a "great kid, don't get cocky," we get a "no, that was my shot," which was pretty funny. But he's got these kids basically,
committing crimes,
opening fire on law enforcement. No big deal.
Yeah,
I know. I thought about that afterward. Like,
I thought about it immediately. I was like, oh, these kids are criming already.
Yeah.
Here, be accessories. Whatever we're doing.
It's a cool shot with they use the smoke. They go really low to get the debris fields to block the X-wings. And you have kids working the hyperspace station. It was like that ride. It was like the ride. Everybody had their job to do.
Yeah. That is.
So they're a proper crew now. I guess that was the point of that encounter.
Yeah. But we do get the end of the episode is the X-wing that hits lands at Kim's orrery, and she's like, "Why'd you let him go?" And he's like, we couldn't keep up. There's smoke. There's
and he says they were kids.
It's too risky with the kids on board, which is great. Because they were,
it makes sense.
During the little chase sequence, the blasts that the X-wings were firing at the Onyx Cinder did look to be blue, which is generally
they were kind of
stuns. They're proton weapon.
Ion.
Ion. Sorry, ion cannon. Yeah.
Nerds.
Sorry. Yeah,
I'm leaving.
And they say any idea where they're going, and Kim is like, oh,
there we go.
About that.
Yeah. And then we get the credits.
Well, she says, the good line at the end there, though. If I told you, you wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me. Exactly. And she looks up into the sky, all intriguingly. Weird cat owl thing. I want to know what that creature's species name is. I don't know if they've released it yet.
But it's like, again, like somebody is saying they're from Atlantis. Like if somebody would tell you, where were they headed to? Atlantis? Like, to a modern person to be like, what?
Yeah, they're on their way to. Yeah,
like I said, they're on they're from El Dorado.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or El Dorado. Or the Fountain of Youth, or anything like that. It just wouldn't make sense to any modern person.
No,
but she believes them because she saw the proof in their clothing and their what they were talking about.
Yeah, I'm going back to my home on the island of Avalon.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's another one. It's another one of those mythical places.
Was Troy mythical?
No.
Troy actually existed.
Yeah, but it was like kind of a lost city for like a long time, where they weren't really sure where the ancient Troya was.
Where it was exactly.
Yeah. Elysia is more lost than that, though. The French capital. But Troy, they know where it is now.
Good for Troy.
Yeah, they found it. They found it again. It took them like 2,000 years, but they found it.
Uh-oh. Sorry.
Let's see. Any power?
I like the pacing of this show.
It's good.
Well,
sorry about that. I had to turn off the iPad that had the screenshots. Oh, that's a handsome boy.
Sorry, he's over there sneezing, so I figured I'd give him a little bit of camera time.
I kind of wish this episode was part of like the opening premiere. At least we would have seen it in the theater. That would have been great, man. Imagine like the audience.
Oh yeah, all that spaceship action. Yeah,
it would have been
all that spaceship action,
and it would have made it an hour and a half. The whole thing.
Yeah,
it would have made it like a little over an hour and a half. That would have been great.
I feel like Disney is losing potential money. Like if they released like 2 episodes every, I don't know, 3 weeks in a theater, and you had to go pay, since it's an episode, not like maybe a half price ticket.
I don't know if people would do that though. That's pretty expensive for for the economy right now, whatever. A lot of people are struggling. I don't think they would be able to afford.
They barely had an advertising budget. They barely had an advertising budget for this, and I don't want to be like the bummer, but this show has not broken the top 10 streams.
Mm-hmm.
Because
doesn't even have Acolyte levels.
Because only three episodes are out, and the Acolyte took a turd on the episode 3. So why are people going to watch before all of the episodes? Like we were just talking about, most people are going to watch this show when all the episodes are out.
I mean,
that's
I hope
just
you're
the
right.
way it is.
I hope you're right. It's just
that's
kind of sad.
What's going to happen.
It's like the audience has left. It seems like, and they're just not getting the streams.
No, it's when there's more. When
I love
when
the
you're
show too.
Okay, if you're dropping an hour-long episode like Stranger Things does, or House of the Dragon, or the Lord of the Rings show, like people are going to tune in every week for an hour program. Are people going to turn in every week for 20 minutes? I don't know. People are going to show up 20, anything under 40. I don't know.
We do.
Well, yeah, but we do this. I'm the way I am about Star Wars, and I drag you guys along with me.
Right, but if I really wasn't interested in a show, I probably wouldn't.
Right.
Be like, I'm going to come on the stream. This show is good. I like this show better than The Acolyte. I'll say that. I didn't mind The Acolyte, but again, I don't know a lot about Star Wars world. So, while certain things, kind of bugged me about The Acolyte,
I almost wish this
show is a completely different feeling than The Acolyte for me. Yeah. This is like, I don't know. I like
they've
it.
They've nailed the tone. It's got the adventure, and that's what people are saying for newbies. This is like the perfect.
I feel like this show, when the kids go on Christmas break, when winter break, whatever you want to call it, it's going to get a bunch of views.
I hope you're right,
because kids are going to be home from school and they're gonna be able to watch all of the episodes as many times as they want. I
think that happens in about a week.
I have a couple Star Wars friends.
Glasses, my friend. You have
most of you guys know my friend Dewey, who's been he's the guy I went Star Wars toy hunting with like regularly back in the 90s.
And his brothers Dewey and Louie?
No, they're bride. They're not. He's not related to Donald Duck.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. But I told him that Dan and I went and saw the premiere, and he's like, "Oh my God, that started! I had no idea that even started."
Yeah, the marketing. There was no budget for the marketing on this show.
If you're not on YouTube, you don't know. Mm-hmm. And YouTube videos cost next to nothing to produce.
I feel like they should be pushing this show hard. There should be.
They should, but where do they push it?
Because this will bring people in. But, I feel like they should have came before Acolyte, even.
Where do you put the advertisements for a show like this?
I mean, in their own app would be a good place to start.
Yeah.
Children's television, those
Hulu. Yeah. They own Hulu, so why not throw,
use their commercial model to actually advertise.
I actually think I did see a Skeleton Crew commercial on Tubi.
Right. No, my mom actually texted me one day. She's like, "Oh my God, I just saw a commercial for that show you're talking about."
Right.
I also saw that,
and she saw that on ABC TV during Dancing with the Stars. I don't see a lot of crossover.
It's very
Dancing with the Stars, folks. Yeah,
it's very weird cross.
I'm sure there's some, but it's not a big.
Yeah, I remember I told you on Sunday that when I was watching the Kings game on Saturday that they had like the actors for Women Fern on the Kings game and like between periods talking about.
Oh, really?
I was like, this is weird cross promotion.
Yeah.
Does Disney own the Kings?
No,
but they own ESPN.
But it wasn't on ESPN.
The Kings don't, but that's not there.
They have that.
It was on KCAL, which is
bottom line. Bottom line, I'd hate there not to be a season 2 because of bungled marketing for this show.
Yeah,
and it seems like they're bungling it right now.
Yeah,
they're kind of.
But we got an Andor season 2, and they kind of were bungling around there.
Yeah, but that was critically acclaimed as well as fan acclaimed.
But it's also got low viewing when it first came out.
But like
more than Acolyte for sure.
Can you say any other of the Star Wars things have actually been like critically acclaimed though?
Mandalorian.
The first 2 seasons of Mandalorian were like their number one.
Yeah, but they were treated
not season 3 though.
They were treated like a light confectionery though.
Yeah,
and Andor had some meat on the bones, and they treated.
What about Ahsoka? I mean, I only feel this way because of what I see at Disneyland. That there's still a lot of Ahsoka merch. There's, Grogu, Ahsoka, obviously Mandalorian merch.
Ahsoka had the benefit of being a very popular character before the show, too,
right?
Which helped.
Yeah.
But I also think that's also not like really mainstream either. That was not like a mainstream success for them,
right?
Like
the Clone Wars series.
It was like. Yeah, it was like basically
it's very niche. Yeah.
They did it well. They probably expanded the people like the eyeballs on the actual that part of the universe, but I don't think it was like had a huge built-in audience.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Anyways, I like this show.
I
hope they can pull it off and get a second season. The directors mentioned they have ideas for the second season. Of course, they're going to say
they actually said something along the lines of they know how old the kids will be when it actually goes into filming production.
Yes.
So they have
Writing.
ideas and writing for
It'll be like a 4-year
age
jump
period. Yeah,
It'll
a
be 4
4-year
years
jump,
later
exactly.
after this season.
Oh man, because
Oh my gosh.
we're in the Stranger Things problem.
Yeah, they said they don't want to do the Stranger Things thing of it's the next day. Like
Right.
it's right,
Or the
it's
next-
right
Stranger
away.
Things
Kids
was the
have like
next year.
grown up, like the kids have like
But it's-
grown up
but
like
it's-
2 or 3 years, and like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be the next day. One
I mean-
kid's like grown like
Yeah.
16.
Got a
Fern and
gray hair on
Fern
the
and
side.
KB, and they'll all be noticeably older in that next season, if there is a next season. I just hope there is.
Wim's gonna go from his normal voice to like a full-on baritone.
Mhm. Neil, instead of being the cute little squeaky voice, will be like super deep.
Yeah, he'll look like the elephant thing from Captain EO.
Mhm. Totally.
And Wim will be Captain EO.
Right? That'll be hilarious. Lobo, we're coming up.
Then they'll start showing it at Disneyland again. Yeah, so we've been going for about 2 hours. This was supposed to be a lot shorter than last week, but that didn't happen.
We got into the
maybe
marketing budget again.
Maybe next week. Wild tangents will happen. So
like and subscribe.
Please, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
Watch this show, stream it multiple times.
Please watch the show. Tell your friends about the show.
Talk about it.
Yeah. Tell your friends. Tell your mama.
Yeah, if anybody that you know likes
daddy.
the Goonies, likes anything
Stranger
from
Things, like
Entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, and I feel like the age range of the show is very wide. I feel like people our age like it. I feel like people who are younger would definitely be into it too.
The ladies love Jude Law. That's a big thing.
Yes, huge plus Jude Law.
I think it's all
There's
about
people
Neil,
who are
man.
watching it just for him because they don't.
It's just there's people that are just watching it for Neil.
I agree. I was going to say, and Neil's really cute.
Neil's
so
cute.
Between those two things,
a lot of things going for it. I wish the show a lot of luck. I want it to succeed.
Yeah,
it's some of the best
this has been the this episode 3 was a lot better than Acolyte episode 3. I'll tell you that. But
the power of many.
The power of one.
Let's not beat a dead horse here. It already got canceled. There's nothing. Yeah, let's not speak ill of the dead.
Right. So I just saw that yeah. So may the force be with you. We'll see you guys next week. Probably about the same time, 7:30, 8 o'clock, somewhere in there. And with that, 6. I don't know about that.
It'll be faster. It was my fault for the delay today.
So if we start
getting ready at 6.
So if we say we're going to start at 6, we'll start getting ready at 5. We'll start the show at about 6:30, and then we'll get out of here at like 8:30 finally.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. Like Binks said last week, nanu.
Live long and prosper. There we go.
All right. May the force be.